Hey, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Astros, and I'm here to talk about Game 126 of the regular season. Astros win 4-0 to the Kansas City Royals. Now, it's the Royals, so a 4-0 win. I want to say it's not ideal, and it's not the best, especially with the underlying numbers of this evening. But, given that the Astros just cannot beat bad opponents, I'm going to take a win as a win. It's great. You know what? There are some glaring issues with tonight, but let's just be happy we got a win against the Royals, which is not something that I thought I'd be excited to say. Anyway, so pitching tonight, obviously for the Astros, immaculate. They didn't allow anything. Offense, how did they get where they did? Well, starting in the first inning, Altuve reaches on an error. It should have been a hit. So you get the first runner on. Then Brantley walks. Great. That's wonderful. Jordan strikes out swinging on a pretty bad pitch to swing at Jordan, I gotta be honest. Like, what was that, man? Then Yuli walks. Cool. Bases loaded, 1 out. Oh no, we have the bases loaded against a bad team. That is usually a recipe for disaster for the Astros recently, which is not something that I thought I would say. Now, Correa into a ground out, but a run scores. Altuve scores and makes it 1-0. I'll take it. Diaz reaches on what they rule a single and then a pretty bad throwing error by Nicky Lopez, which real rough throw allows 2 runs to score. That made it 3-0 in favor of the Astros. And after that, for a while, pretty quiet. Third inning, the Royals had a pair of runners on, second and third, and Aledmys Diaz with one of the best plays you'll see. Just an incredible jumping catch. Just full extension, an incredible play by Diaz. I didn't realize he could jump that high. To absolutely rob a hit and rob a pair of RBIs. Well, just a pair of runs from the Kansas City Royals. That could have completely swung the game. If in the third inning they score a pair there, that could have been rough. I don't know how the game plays out if that happens, but Aledmys Diaz flashing leather, and I do mean flashing it. Incredible play by Aledmys Diaz. Then, in the third, Yuli scores on a Carlos Correa double. That made it 4-0, and that would be it for the offense. Now, pitching-wise, Luis Garcia tonight, absolutely fantastic. 6 2/3, didn't give up any runs, only 4 hits allowed, only 1 walk, got 7 Ks. Luis Garcia was magnificent, and I believe, I read on Twitter, he has now had 3 consecutive games at Minute Maid where he is not allowed a run, which is magnificent. He might just be the Rookie of the Year this season. He's having a very, very good season for Luis Garcia. That's his 10th win tonight, which pitcher wins and losses don't really mean anything. I'm Jacob deGrom. So, it's not like, that's important. It's just a neat little milestone for him to get to. Ryan Stennett came in. He pitched 1 1/3, and he was magnificent. He didn't walk anyone. He didn't give up any hits. Got a strikeout. Ryan Stennett looked really nice. The strikeout was on a pitch that was at 99, so maybe Stennett can start to get back to his old ways of the beginning of the season. Remember the first, month of the year when Ryan Stennett was, a freaking alien, pitching-wise? That was a fun time. Kendall Graveman came in for the 9th. He had a really nice inning. Got a strikeout. Really dominant. Kendall Graveman, man, is just... He's a really nice pitcher. I can't believe we got him in exchange for just Joe Smith and Abraham Toro. That was such a steal. Overall, good game for the Astros. The pitching obviously was immaculate. Luis Garcia specifically, caps off to him. Fantastic game by the rookie, who now has his career high in innings. Just keeps going past it. He was, again, magnificent. I have absolutely no complaints on him. Now... 4 runs is right on that area, right in that little well where it's like, is 4 runs a lot? Yeah, depends. In an inning, yes. In a total game, yeah. 4 runs is in that valley where it's not going to win you every game and it's not going to lose you every game. It's basically a coin flip. The Astros batted 8 times tonight. They had 8 innings to bat with because they didn't do the 9th because they had already won. And they scored 4 runs. So that's right on that half a run an inning that is league average. So it's basically the definition of meh run total wise. But there's this pesky little thing that you gotta look at called runners in scoring position. And the Astros were... I don't even know if you could hear that crappy drum roll. 1 for 11. That's real bad. That's not gonna win you much. 1 for 11 is pretty awful. And 9 runners left on base. That's also pretty awful. But given that the Astros have not been able to beat bad opponents, it's like they're trying to solve like an infinity-sided Rubik's Cube when they're playing teams that are below 500. So it would be easy to kind of take pot shots at the Astros for having a pretty rough night offensively, but I'm just going to be happy that we even won because apparently wins against bad teams aren't a given for the Astros this season. So I'm going to take whatever table scraps I can get. It's a positive. They get the win. It's, at the very least, they take one of the 3. Hopefully we can take the series tomorrow. That would be ideal, especially because our old buddy Seattle absolutely pummeled the A's tonight, which means now we have a 4.5 game lead in the division. Seattle's only 5.5 games back. Seattle's climbing up there with the Oakland A's. The A's are 2-8 over their last 10. That would have been a really nice time to gain some good ground on the A's and the Mariners, but alas. Speaking of teams with rough streaks, have you seen that the Orioles have lost 19 in a row? Ugh. A negative 238 run differential is that's just sad. That's just awful. You gotta pour one out for the Mariners, man. That's a rough or for the Orioles, man. They're having another rough one. The perpetual rebuilding team. How did I get on the Orioles? It doesn't matter anyway. Overall, nice game for the Astros, I suppose. They get out of it with a win. When I say nice, by the way, I'm very much specifically referring to the pitching. The offense left a lot to be desired, but they get it. So, tomorrow's game. It's on YouTube. Which I know it probably sounds ironic that I'm complaining and kind of implying that YouTube is a garbage thing since I'm uploading this video onto, well, YouTube. But why YouTube? Side note, why is that you want to upload it on YouTube and like stream it on YouTube to try to get I assume that's to get the kiddos involved, and yet they decide to do it at 2 p.m. on a school day. That's really dumb. That's a really dumb. And if you're a fan of either of those teams, it's 1 p.m. on a school day. That's a smart idea. That's a good idea, Major League Baseball. You keep on keeping on, guys. You're doing great. That's a lie. Anyway, the Astros are going to send Lance McCullers Jr. to the mound. It's the best day of the week because Lance McCullers is starting. He rolls in with a 3.21 ERA. That's funny. And they will send Mike Minor to the mound with a 5.34 ERA. So, theoretically, this is a game the Astros should be able to win. Their ace is going on the mound in MLJ. And you're facing a pitcher with an above 5 ERA. So this should be a slam dunk, which probably means we're going to win 2-0. And it's going to be a nail-biter until the very end, because that's how the Astros want to do it. Anyway, that's at 2:10 Eastern, 1:10 Central, and I'll be here after that. So, thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Astros.